Cloud. So, hi everybody. It is Monday, June 30th, 2025. So, last day of June. So, happy Canadian Day tomorrow if you're Canadian. And 4th of July is Good Friday this week. So, people might be enjoying the holidays. So, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And I've been gone for the last 2 weeks. So, I really appreciate that you guys still came back after being gone for a little while. And I had a lovely time with my nephew's husband's, wedding. And it was about almost 2 weeks long of parties, which was amazing. And I had a lot of fun dressing up. So I'm more of an average dresser. So it was a really fun time to dress up. So, all right. So we asked the question. So for folks that are watching the video, this was the icebreaker question. If you could have any exotic animal as a pet, which one would you want? And we got some really great answers. I said sea udders, Sea Udders Foundation, the nonprofit. I do think they're so itty bitty cute. Um, some people said a dog or dragon, or some said a snow monkey or a lion. So a lot of great answers just for fun icebreakers. All right, another fun challenge I grabbed from this deck called Better Than Yesterday. And then here it is. It says, "You're pretty great." That's the outside. Ask two friends what they think your best qualities are. Wow. We don't do that enough, I feel like, right? Says you bring a lot to the table and there's nothing wrong with acting like it. So ask two friends. So that's your goal for until we meet again. Ask two friends what they think your two best qualities are. So kind of fun to challenge yourself in that way. And I like to always read a little bit of some stuff. I thought it was really cool what I read for a quote. It says, "The Gift of Prayer." And if you don't know about this book, it's called The Book of Awakening. It's by Mark Nepo, and it's so easy read. I highly recommend it. Uh, I just usually like to read the quotes, but they also give you a lot of meditation ideas. It's really well written, and it's back in the early 2000s, so it's been around for over 20 years. All right, this is a Gandhi quote. "Prayer is not asking, it is the longing of the soul. It is the daily admission of one's weakness. And so it is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart." That's pretty good. That's what I was like, wow. Okay. And this is on June 26th, though it goes by kind of date. So it's page 212, 10 if you have this at home. I'll read it again because it's pretty deep, right? "Prayer is not asking, it is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. And so it is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart." And you know what? Let's do it 3 times. I'll read the same thing. "Prayer is not asking, it is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of weakness, of one's weakness. And so it's better in prayer, to have a heart without words than words without a heart." So I think that quietness, right? That gentleness um, of that two together. Also, I haven't thrown this one out in a while, but I do love cats. I think they look like sea udders. But I like to pick a random photo in here and look at their quotes. So it's kind of a cute. I don't know if the lighting works out best, but let's see. Look, it's an orange tabby, a cat that I'm showing, and it says, "Soak up solitude." God, it's really these are two are together. "Soak up solitude when the rest of the world is sleeping." Soak up solitude when the rest of the world is sleeping. Wow, that one is good. Okay, we're definitely getting messages here. I'm feeling, I feel like I'm doing a tarot card reading. But I picked random things, but wow, that's a pretty good one. So that is kind of our theme. Um, and also, I can't remember if I shared this song. So last time I did a session, I didn't record it because I was partially outside. and I didn't have my normal routine, and it was more informal. So it was really sweet, and so I decided not to record it. So anyways, this time we will. The song, I can't remember if I shared a song or not. If I record it, then I document it, so then I remember. So, um, but the song that I'm going to share with you guys, but that reminds me, if you guys live here in the Twin Cities, I am having a birthday bash party on August 10th. If you want the location, you have to just let me know and I can share it with you. But I'm really excited. I'm having two bands or two performers coming out. Originally, I was going to just do one, but there was a glitch, and then I had this idea. I'm like, why not both? So I'm going to have Dave Dvorak. He's a really great musician here in the Twin Cities with a band called Zoe Says Go performing. So just put that out there. That's August 10th. It's going to be really cool. And then the other two are a couple, and this is like one of their CDs. It's Peck and Fendrick, or Fendrick and Peck. There we go. This is one of their CDs, cute couple. They've been singing for over 10 years. They have multiple CDs, um, really good original songs. And they're going to perform the other hour. So, and we're going to have art activities and it's going to be really fun. So, a little blurb for people who are in the Twin Cities. All right, but let's do a song. So before we do a song, I say let's clear our voice. I know I did challenge myself to play guitar, but my laptop original song doesn't work, and it's just kind of a headache this morning to deal with that. So I'm just going to do a cappella again. But I recommend let's do some vocal clearing before we do a song quick. So taking a sip, we're going to gargle it. And we'll do that again, tilting your head side to side, front and back, just to help things move along in your body. And we'll do one more, and it's the sound of like a bird, kind of ka, 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 ka. So that's kind of thrusting the water in the air. So do it carefully. It might splatter. So that is a fun one to do it. But for me, this was very refreshing because I have vocal fatigue that I deal with, and that simple technique of gargling clear water is a good reminder. Sometimes I forget about it, but it really helps me. Um, Another nice vocal exercise is just kind of gently rubbing, softening the skin. It's all good for your body. You can also gently swipe to the side and then gently down. We can also gently massage and be very careful when you do this. So if it hurts, you're putting probably too much pressure. But if you just gently push down and up, hold it a little bit, gentle stretch, shouldn't hurt. And then do it in the other way. Just a gentle stretch. And you can just kind of gently, again, it's kind of a nice way to help massage anything that, might be there irritating your throat. All right, I'm just gonna take one more quick sip. So, this class, I used to call it just feeling visible, but I changed it to the art of feeling visible. So I just feel like it's all self-care routine that I'm doing in this class that can help you. So I think songs are awesome way of self-care with the vagus nerve, and it is very helpful. So the song that I was thinking singing of sharing, which I can't remember if I shared or not, but it is a Navajo prayer, and it's a popular song. It's actually on my website. I have a link as I pull it up. And so if you go to Touching Worlds, which is my website.com, if you go to the resource page, and if you scroll down to the bottom, there is songs to sing, and it is a song, um, it's a Navajo prayer. It says, "When you were born, you cried." So I'm going to get the link.
For anyone struggling with ear ringing, do not drink.
All right, I'm going to Went straight to the link, but I'm gonna put it in the chat here. So if you like this song, you can follow along. But it's simple words. It goes, when you were born, you cried. So we'll just do that first part a couple times just to make sure we feel good. When you were born, you cried. And one more time. We always feel like 3 time is a charm. I feel that same way too. So it's, when you were born, you cried. So it's a kind of a simple word. And let me get the lyrics to you too. Um, Make sure I copy the whole world. So for people who watch this recording later, you'll see it in the details as well. So here we go. That's the lyrics. So if you're visual, let's go. So when you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. So just that whole line. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. So it's a nice grieving song, I feel like. So one more time, sets of 3. We always go with that. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. So thumbs up if you want, if you're feeling good, or we could do it maybe one more time just to make sure you feel good. So when you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. So the last part is, live your life so that when you die. So that new one is just new. So it goes, live your life so that when you die. And one more time, I always like sets of 3. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. The world cries and you rejoice. It said cried, but cries feels better to me. So let's do it with that last section one more time. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. So from the top, and it's supposed to be a Navajo prayer. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. Let's do that 2 more times, maybe feeling it more. I know the first time I heard this song, it made me tear up because it's so beautiful. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. One more time. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. So that is a beautiful song. It was fun to sing it with you. Yes, thank you. Love to you all, Janine wrote. So thank you. That's a beautiful song. So let's also get into movement. So I feel like that's a good movement song. All right, so if you're standing or sitting, your preference, I'll assume that you're comfortable. So if you're sitting, standing, do what feels right. Anything feels uncomfortable, we just modify it. So I'm gonna pretend like we're all sitting and just gently bounce. You can lift your heels and while you're doing it, like bouncing your legs. I guess I can turn my screen a little bit more down. There we go. So you can kind of bounce, lifting your hands. If you're standing, you can stand and do this. And just gently breathe. So this is a practice that's commonly done in spring forest qigong, but is adaptive right now for the chair. So let's gently bring your hands side to side, just letting the wrist shake. If you want to turn a little bit to the side, it's much easier standing. So if you are standing, this is what it looks like standing. And you can just kind of bounce, turning your torso side to side. In a chair, it's a little bit harder, but be on the edge of your chair if you are, so it gives you a little bit more momentum space in your chair, if you're able. And let's bring the hands up. It looks like you're a cute puppy dog flapping its ears in uh, the air, wind or something, or you look really funny, one of the two. So just kind of bouncing, just shaking it out. And then if you want, you can wave to your neighbors if you're in the window. I've done that, but my neighbors have looked at me like, what are you doing? So let's bring the hands down, just shaking it off. Whatever you're coming in with today, hopefully it's a lot of good energy you're bringing in. And then we can slowly relax and let that soften into our body. And let's take a nice cleansing breath with a nice upright posture. If you're standing, you would have your knees slightly bent, not that's locked, right? Locked knees, soft knees, pelvis tucked in, not protruding, tilted under. And if you're in a chair, same thing. We want to make sure our pelvis is tucked under on the edge of the chair and just nice and sturdy. So this is a common stance in Tai Chi. Chin is slightly tucked in, so our chin isn't like this, it's slightly tucked in, elongating the back of the neck. We want to feel a connection with the floor, so the balls of our feet are on the floor, and we want to feel the bubbling wells, which is like a little bit below the pad of our foot. They call it the K9, kidney 9 point. That's called the bubbling well. So if you're standing, it's even better. You can put pressure just by stimulating the feet just a little bit. We're activating that bubbling well, which is strengthening our kidney. And our kidney is our life force energy. So a little bit of a standing stance or sitting, adaptive. This is adaptive if you're in a car or not able to stand, or just fatigued and tired. And if you're standing again, it looks like this, soft knees, hands by your side, nice and relaxed. So let's do some movement. I'm going to do a movement just because I like it the most, this one. It's Wise-All turns its head. So we're going to engage the shoulders. The trapezoids in the back are going to be engaged. So feel that engagement, bringing the arm back, turn your head to one side, and then kind of curve your hands to the side. Palm still facing the earth. And then we come back to center. You can let your hands go back to normal. Again, engaging the muscles between the shoulders, turning your head to the other direction, and then coming back. So whatever it feels natural for you, engaging the shoulder blades, turning the head, coming back, and again. And so this is a nice movement, a little strengthening and more wisdom. And then coming back. And coming back. All right, good. So that is a little movement, qigong movement. I want to show you a movement called waving cloud hands, and I'm going to do it on the chair version. So this is more of a Tai Chi move than a qigong move, just to kind of create some variety. So if you're in a chair, it's just like gently holding a child. So I shift my weight a little bit in one sit bones to the other. Or if you're standing, you would actually shift your weight from the other side, right? From one hip to the other hip. And this is be the standing version that I'd be teaching you. You do steps in Tai Chi, but just to make it simpler for the chair, this is the Yang style. So you gently hold a child and then put out a stop sign, scoop up sand, and then go back into that holding a child. So you just changed your arms, right? I was here, and I just kind of flick my wrist, and then I went back in to grab something. Then whatever hand on top is the direction I go. I'm going to gently turn, maybe shift my weight a little bit to this sit bone or butt cheek, and then pull out a stop sign, switch the hands, and shift the weight to the other cheek. Let it flow. Don't have to worry so much about precision, just floating the hand out. So this is chair version, yang style, cloud hands without engaging the feet. So we're just going to keep it simple, throw something new at you. So for folks that are watching or follow me, it's something different. So imagine the energy coming up your feet, being expressed through your hands, and then regathering. So release as the hands go out, gather, release. So this comes from a martial art movement, right? Because if you came at me, I'd be blocking my lower extremities and I'd be blocking my heart. So this is a form of martial art in a very soft version. A lot of times we don't talk about that, but it is going to come in handy if you program your brain that whatever hand on top is the direction you shift your weight. So if you're standing, you would just shift the weight and then go to the other side. Later on, we can add standing, but for now, I feel like just to make it simple with the movement, we can let the hands go. So yang style cloud hands, church chair version, or standing. My chair is squeaking. I don't know if you're picking that up on Zoom or not. But as you can hear, if I shift my weight, you can hear, like, if you can hear the squeak with the chair. I know this chair is getting old. It's slowly falling apart, but it's comfortable. But it's starting to squeak if you can hear. All right. So let this movement, like, imagine the energy coming up your legs into your hands, being expressed out. If you can imagine that. So holding up the, feet, the energy goes up. Sometimes directing our intention with this movement is very helpful. All right, let's do that one more time. And then to the other, when the hands are done, we just bring the bottom hand up and we get to that hands connecting to each other. Let's do one more movement together and then we'll move on to the meditation and lymphatic work. So let's gently open and close our hands, initiating from our breath. So a nice deep breath, inhale, and a slow exhale. Doing that again. And a few more times. Very powerful to have it let your lungs initiate the movement versus you just going like this, right? This is me just going like this, but I'm not. I'm letting my breath lead. I breathe in, my hands expand. I breathe out and they come together. So if I was hunched over, I wouldn't feel that, right? If I was hunched over, right, I feel nothing. But if your shoulder, you're in alignment, your chest is open, you breathe, you're going to feel that hands move. You're going to feel your rib cage open up. So if you're like, I'm doing this and I don't feel it, check your posture, is my suggestion. And just give it time and practice. If you never breathed deeply before, you might not know how to do it. So breathing deeply really helps with our lymphatic system also. So that is something that I care about a lot. So letting ourselves breathe deeply, usually through our nose and outside our nose, but it can be however it feels best for you. And let's do that one more time. And then the hands reach out to signify the ending. And then we'll get to that nice standing position that we were in. And let the fingers drain into the earth like water dripping. And actually, it's raining here right now. It's sunny, but it's raining. Oh my God. I left the cushions outside. I just remembered we have an outdoor couch. I just put them out because I'm like, it's not going to rain until Saturday, but it's raining. It's been that kind of a day for me, actually, in the last hour or two. Um, so it's soaking up whatever is happening and being at peace with it, letting everything drip down, surrendering to the moment, knowing that this moment has our best interest. So releasing, softening all our joints in our body, softening our intention, and we can get into a more comfortable position. So if you want to be on the back of your chair, we move into a meditation. For me, that's more comfortable to be in the back of my chair, less effort. And I invite you to settle into your body. If maybe it's laying down. So we'll just do a 5-10 minute max meditation, combining the themes of the things that I've read earlier today, the challenge questions, but getting into our body. So nice alignment, vertical alignment, lying down or sitting up, and softening the body, whatever that means for you. Maybe you have tight shoulders, tight neck, tight legs, whatever that is. Send that attention to relax and soften. Maybe it's your whole body. And let's soften our hearts at the same time. Whatever that means for you. Could be emotions, it could be intentions, it could be tenderness, things that are hard for you, things that are sad for you. And just be open to whatever is happening and loving, being supportive of what's going on in your life. And it's a very beautiful time of year here in Minnesota, at least with the summertime, reaching just the peak of the summer solstice. Summer just started, the longest few days of the year. And actually, starting, I think it was yesterday, we're getting a little bit less sunlight each day now. The 25th it started to the 28th. The 28th was the longest day of the year, and here in the North Hemisphere. And but now they're slowly going to get shorter. So reminiscing and enjoying summer, but acknowledging the tenderness, the balance that the earth gives to keep us healthy, to keep us thriving, to keep all the animals here on this earth in harmony and in balance, and letting ourselves root into the earth, feeling that balance, feeling that tenderness that comes, that is needed for us to thrive emotionally, spiritually, physically, opening that tender heart. And I know today's image from the cat book was a very tender quote. It says, "Soak up solitude when the rest of the world is sleeping." Soak up solitude when the rest of the world is sleeping. So if that means literally for you, when other people are sleeping, or it could be on a metaphor, soak it up. Soak it up usually means a good thing, like you want it, like you're thirsty, you need it, right? Like a sponge soaking up. It's just automatic pull. Sometimes people fight the solitude. I know I did a little bit this weekend after like 2 weeks of parties. I had more time for solitude, and um, I know my body was like wanting to fight it. I'm like, go do something, go do this. instead of just enjoying the present moment. And I did. I went for a walk, which I don't usually do too often for various reasons. And it was just beautiful to soak up the solitude of nature, to look at each tree and each leaf like it's a living being, like it's a piece of artwork, to feel the barometric pressure between the clouds and the earth, to notice the lighting, the softness, the birds becoming alive or quieting down, depending on their nature of their animals. As we transition from day to night, just notice. Imagine, imagine you're in a beautiful place of nature. Maybe it's your backyard. Maybe it's somebody else's backyard or a park or national park. So just noticing that nature balance, noticing the softness in your heart and the softness of the what's around you. Not seeing the lines that separate us, but feeling that connection of oneness, of spirit, which solitude can give us. So soaking it up, that you're thirsty when the rest of the world might be sleeping. They might just be walking with their phone, right, with their headphones on, conversations going on, but walk with solitude. Soak up the solitude while others are sleeping. And I invite you to think about the quote that we also reflected on today, which was by Gandhi. And it was about prayer is not asking, it's a longing of the soul. It's a daily admission of one's weakness. And so it is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words with a heart without heart. So hearing that heart without words, that solitude is more important than words without heart. Saying what we need or mean, not going through the motions, not faking it. Just feeling that connection. And it's not about asking, it's a longing of the soul, like soaking up, right? Like a sponge soaking up water. And it's about being who you are, whatever weaknesses that we are. We might judge ourselves, judge others. We might be critical and cranky or irritable when people move your stuff. I know that irritates me. Or they change your whole configuration of your whole desktop. All right, all those little things. But being humble, noticing the weakness of others, the weakness of yourselves, and have that be a prayer. Being able to admit our weakness. And that's okay. So as you're on the walk in the water, maybe you want to throw some rocks as you're by the water and gently throw the stone. Maybe it's making peace, forgiving yourself for your weaknesses and being at peace with what your weaknesses are. Maybe you can be too much of one thing, too needy, too talkative, too quiet. If that is a weakness, it might not be a weakness, but something that you perceive, something that you wish you had less of. You don't have to put a judgment value to it, but something that you want to release. So thinking back on that, what you might want to release as you are embracing and soaking up the solitude. And if nothing comes to mind, beautiful, that's okay too. Just physically release the rocks, whatever it is. Maybe it's guilt, frustration, irritation. Maybe it's love. You're releasing more love into the earth. So it doesn't have to be negative. You can release more love because you have more love coming. So gently throw in the rocks. It could be a pretty pattern of skipping rocks on the water, or it could be a big plunge that splashes back in your face. knowing that everything is working out just the way it needs to. And you're trusting that balance of life and what's happening in the future, in this present moment. And let's just take a few deep breaths. Slowly, maybe you're leaving the park, you're winding away, you're slowly leaving that beautiful nature scenery. And I invite you to reflect on the best qualities of who you are. So, the challenge for this week from Better Than Yesterday card is ask two friends what they think are your two best qualities. So, before you leave the park, as you're walking out, I want you to ask yourself, what are two of the best qualities that you have? Is there, okay, there might be many, so, but you only have to pick two. Or if it's hard to come up with two, maybe just things that you like about yourself. Maybe it's your smile. Maybe it's your eyes. Maybe it's the way you walk, with your way you can sleep at night. Maybe it's the jokes that you can tell. Maybe it's the light, how, your laughter. So, two of your best qualities. And if it's hard to come up with something, that's okay too. But just pausing for the solitude and letting the answer come to you. Let's take a couple breaths as the answer may be coming to us slowly. And if you need more time, that's okay. Use that breathing. So, nice deep breaths. We're going to do 3 of them as you're leaving and you're just embracing the beautiful qualities of yourself. Take a nice deep breath. Hold it for a few seconds, letting your belly fill up with more air, and then slowly exhale, holding it for another few seconds. And nice inhale, holding it, embracing, and a slow exhale, letting your body rest before you inhale again. Inhale for the 3rd time, hold it, and then slowly exhale, and holding that exhale. Breathing normal again, and you can slowly open your eyes if they were closed, or open, shake a little bit, but we're going to go into lymphatic massage. So I think that's a nice transition. We start with gentle pressure. So it's like an ant. You know how ants are so light, you can barely feel an ant touching you. So I want you to place just a little bit of pressure, either upward or downward. So you see it's just like a little bit. Either way, if it hurts, you're putting too much pressure. So nice 6 deep breaths, which is about a minute long. So nice inhale and exhale. Doesn't matter how you do it. Inhale through your nose or mouth. Doing that again for the 2nd time. A 3rd time. And a 4th time. Once you exhale. Now the 4th time. And we'll do it 2 more times after the exhale. And 1 more. And then we can release and then gently go down your face, leading to the clavicle. 5 swipes. And 1 more time, going over the ears, starting at the top of the head, swiping to the clavicle 5 times. So 2 more. And then we go back of the head, sweeping around the neck, leading to the clavicle. So kind of sweeping around. A little hard with my ponytail, but just gently. And one more. And I think I need to fix my hair a little bit there. I think I'm gonna just take my hairband out and comb it that way. All right, now we're gonna sweep underneath the ear, going to the clavicle on the same side. So you don't go across your neck, you just go on the same side. I made that mistake the first time I learned it. I thought they were going like this, bigger than I needed to. And then the other side, behind the ear, same side. All right, the next movement is your chest area. We're gonna go up and around. So leading to the clavicle. So sweeping around your chest. And if you're a lady, you try to go under your chest. And we do that 5 times. So one more. And then we go up and over, straight across the chest, doing 5 sweeps. And it's a very gentle pressure. And you can use the back of your hand, the front of your hand. One more time. Then we do the sternum, same side as the chest, sweeping up 5 times. We'll do it one more. And now we switch to the other side. So you can have your hand or down. For me, I feel like it's easier to sweep around with my hand up. And one more time. Now up and over. And one more time. And now the same clavicle on the same side, the sternum, right? The same side leading to that. And then we need a scarf or a rag to do the next one. So I got it close by, and it could be a towel, it can be a shirt, and we're gonna wrap it over, and we want to do the trapezoids in the muscles between the shoulder blades. So right here, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Sweep behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 6. I think we're supposed to do 6. I don't know why I said 7. All right. And gently going downward to finish off. So this is the Perrin technique, Perrin, and it's a really popular technique. Link is, I'll send it to you on the Zoom, or it's on my website under resources as well, touchingworlds.com. So that is a very nice lymphatic self-care massage. That's what I feel like Feeling Visible is. It's about the art of taking care of ourselves emotionally, physically, um, and relaxing the nervous system many different ways, and try to be creative about it at the same time. So I thank you so much for coming. I'm going to end the recording, and you're welcome to share what you liked or didn't like. It's always good to know. You don't know what other people are thinking unless they share it. So thanks for your support and your comments, and we'll try to meet next week if it works out for everybody. We'll keep trying to do it in the summer as much as we can, and then more regularly for sure in the fall. But we'll see you next week and in the recording. So thank you.